Last Tuesday, the highly anticipated game Rayman Legends was released to rave reviews. Even though it was supposed to be a Wii U exclusive and come out nearly a year ago, it seems to have been worth the wait. In fact, I didn't even plan on buying it until I started seeing some reviews and decided it probably would be worth the price. But since Rayman has been getting so well received, it begs the question, how does it compare to New Super Mario Bros.? Well, we all know Mario is the most iconic character in gaming history, but how long can he ride the ship before people grow tired of it? Well, it's about time to find out. Rayman Legends is like the new kid on the block, going right up against the king of platformers, Mario, or more specifically, New Super Mario Bros. U, and we can see who comes out on top. This is more for information rather than argument, but let's check some reviews of the two games. On Metacritic, Rayman Legends on Wii U has a 91% critic score and a 9.0 user score. When you compare that to New Super Mario Bros. U, which has an 84% critic score, 8.1 user score. So Rayman is definitely ahead in both areas, but this is by no means a one-all, be-all solution, just something sort of to think about. Not to be confused with graphics, presentation is how the game is presented to you. You know, on-screen menus, title screens, animations, cutscenes, and how they're all organized and presented. Rayman Legends has very high-quality presentation. You know, it's got a lively title screen, catchy tunes, and some pretty cool animations. Mario U seems to just sort of be going through the motions. You know, it's music you've heard, it's menus you've seen again and again. Not to say it looks or sounds poor, it's just not exciting or new really in any way. The level selection method in the two games is also completely different, and Rayman Legends takes a cue from Mario 64 by having you jump in paintings to go to new levels. Simple, but it works. Mario U, on the other hand, sort of takes a cue from Super Mario World in having a big open-world map. But the map, I've noticed, doesn't quite flow as well as it did in Super Mario World. I can't quite place my finger on it, but it doesn't quite seem to be as fun to explore. Still better than previous New Super Mario games, though. Rayman Legends soundtrack is awesome in two ways. First, it's the original score. It's fitting, it's lively, and it's fun to listen to. Secondly, though, is the music stages that feature real songs. Songs like Black Betty and Eye of the Tiger, for an example. The music fits the game like a charm, and I enjoy every bit of it. New Super Mario Bros. U sort of struggles in that regard. You know, the music's great, but how many times do we have to hear the same music before we get something new? I mean, all the classic Mario games have distinct, memorable soundtracks. So if somebody was walking down the street whistling music from Super Mario World levels, I'd recognize it. But if that same person was walking down the street whistling music from Mario U, I'm not so sure I'd recognize it as easy. Not to mention, the sound has basically been rehashed essentially 3 times, and it's just become tiresome. Gameplay is bar none. the most important part of the game. You know, graphics and sound are great, but if the game plays like crap, then it's all gone to waste. Rayman plays like a charm. The goal of each level is not only to reach the end, but also collect as many lums and capture as many teensies as possible. The controls are fluid, the platforming feels right, and the level design complements it all. But nothing proves that more than the music stages that I mentioned a little earlier. During these stages, the way you run through the level is matched with beats in the song that's playing. They're so much fun that I find myself smiling from ear to ear like a moron every time I play them. You also have the ability in Rayman Legends to play as different characters, but it doesn't really change the gameplay any, but unlocking new characters and outfits is part of the fun. Like in the footage you're looking at, I'm actually playing as Plumber Rayman, which is basically Rayman dressed as Mario. Now, the only problem I have with the game is the Murphy levels. In this level, or rather in this type of level, there are two characters, Murphy and Globix. Globix? Yeah, however you want to say it, it's whatever. We'll just say Globix. You use the gamepad to control Murphy, and use the touchscreen on the gamepad to change the level to make it possible for Globix to complete it. So you'll move platforms, tickle enemies to make them vulnerable to attack, put out fire, just to name a couple of things. These levels are fun, but they're far too common. Mario U also plays like a dream. I mean, basically it's like all of Nintendo's platformers, where the controls are near perfection. Other than that, though, the level design is basically everything we've seen before. There are 3 collectible coins per level, which are fun to try and get, but aside from that, it's all standard, which is, disappointing. Again, that's not saying it's bad, though, keep in mind, it's just not exactly an exciting concept anymore. Rayman Legends features a couple of things that keep me coming back. First and foremost, 90% of the levels are genuinely fun, and I enjoy playing them more than once. Trying to collect all the teensies in each level is fun, and it makes me play the levels multiple times. Each level also has a grading system of sorts. At the end of each level, your score is added up, and you're awarded with a bronze, silver, or gold trophy, depending on exactly what your score is. This keeps me coming back and trying to get gold in every level. I'm not entirely sure if you unlock something if you do, but it's fun to do it regardless. Rayman also features challenges that are daily and weekly, with leaderboards to compare your score with everybody else's. Now, most of the time there's that one guy that's just unbelievable at the game and posts ridiculous scores on the leaderboard, but it's still fun to compete with people that are more on your level. Now, Mario U has a few cool features as well. Each level has 3 gold coins to collect, which makes playing some levels multiple times necessary if you want to get all 3. There's also many secret exits, and it's fun to try and find and unlock the new levels. Also featured is challenge mode, which lives up to the name because they're freaking ridiculously challenging, at times anyway. It involves things like speedruns, getting specific goals like don't collect any coins, or don't touch any enemies, or don't touch the ground, things like that. They're fun, but unlike Rayman Legends, they don't change daily, and they don't have leaderboards, which means the fun is somewhat limited. Another thing to keep in mind is that in Rayman Legends, when you collect the teensies, there's somewhere between maybe 8 or 9, sometimes maybe even 10 teensies to collect per level. In Mario U, there's only 3 coins per level, so it's pretty easy to get 3 coins. It's much harder to get 8 or 9 teensies. New Super Mario Bros. U is a great game, but it's far too conservative in its efforts. It's nothing new or exciting. It's the same old bag of tricks, and we've been seeing it for years now. You know, it's still a great platformer. It's just lost its shine. Rayman Legends breathes new life into the 2D platforming genre. I mean, not since Donkey Kong Country Returns have I had this much challenge and fun with a 2D platformer. You know, whether it be the graphics, the replayability, the music, presentation, or most importantly, the gameplay, Rayman Legends pretty much trumps New Super Mario Bros. U in almost every category. I definitely recommend them both if you're looking for a good time, but I would recommend Rayman Legends way before I'd recommend Mario Bros. U. So that makes me wonder, though, what does this mean for Mario's 2D games in the future? Are they going to start to evolve like they used to? I mean, with Rayman Legends out now, I don't see any way that it can't. It feels odd to say, but Mario could be left in the dust if Nintendo chooses to do nothing and wreck games like Rayman, just stampede to the competition. I guess perhaps we'll have an answer when Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze releases later this year. It's competition like this that can really advance games, especially games in this genre, and change how they're made in the future, and I'm really looking forward to it. So that's my verdict, guys. I definitely would recommend Rayman Legends. I recommend Mario U also, but just not nearly as much. So thanks for watching. Let me know if you guys have played Mario U or Rayman Legends and what you guys think. So thanks for watching, and we will see you guys next time.